Hey guys, welcome back to the League-Kempner House here in Galveston. I'm Janie. I'm the president of the nonprofit that's been set up to restore and preserve this house. And we're here today doing another no-cost project with volunteers. As we talked about before, we can't spend money we don't have. We are in the midst of fundraising, and a huge thank you to all of you who have been going to our website and making donations or buying our t-shirts or Christmas ornaments out of the store. All that money comes directly back to the house for restoration, and it's really beneficial. But today, all our money is earmarked for some great big projects like getting those parlor windows back in and the concrete floor poured in the basement. So until that's done and we raise a little more money, it's just volunteer time and labor and using materials that we already have on hand to either further the restoration process or do things to help the house look better so that we can actually hold fundraising events here and show off the house a little better. And that's what Heather and I are going to be doing today. We had so much fun faux painting our stained glass window that we've decided to tackle another project, and that's the laylights here in the grand staircase kind of ceiling domed area. It's going to be not quite as challenging from the painting perspective because we're going to take the plywood out and lay it on the floor and paint it, and it's a very simple geometric pattern. And once we do one pattern, we can just use it to mark the other one out and go quickly. The hard part will be getting the plywood out. It's a little cumbersome, but more importantly is marking where we need to do the painting because it's a square, and if we get it in there cockeyed, it's not going to look right. It's going to really even be an affront to my senses, and I'm a little less precise. But it's a tricky area to work in because it is open and it's a good 35-foot drop down if you fall through that hole. So I'm going to have to harness up, tie myself off, and get up there and do that more or less by myself. We only have one harness, so it won't be safe for Heather to be in there with me while I'm doing that. But once I get it up, she can kind of help me manhandle it out into the bathroom, and we'll lay some tarps down and work on that. It's a very dreary, dark day. You can probably tell from the lighting in this video. It's raining. We decided not to open for tours, so Joe didn't come down with me to open up. It's just Heather and I. So we're going to lock ourselves in since we'll be way up there working, and I'm just waiting on her to get here now before I get started. So I'm collecting a few materials and things to get ready. So we'll be back in a second when she gets here. It is dark and not filming well, but let me show you just quickly that area. I might have a better photograph that'll show up better, but you can see it's squares with just a thin metal bar separating, and we have to line that plywood up exactly in the same position once we paint it. So I've got a few ideas on how to do that, and we'll show you more of that when we get up there and start working. Okay, I just got a text from Heather saying there's an accident in front of her on the freeway and she's not moving. She's only about 12 miles out, so that's frustrating. But I'm going to go ahead and get started, not with taking anything out or being unsafe, but just generally cleaning up here in this cupola area. But you can see it's a little cramped to get it up, out, and then turned sideways and moved through this tiny little door that's blocked partially by these iron rods that suspend the staircase landing below. So it's a pretty tight workspace. Heather finally made it, and it's the big reveal. Go
oh
see
my
what
goodness, happened. Look at you. You've been busy. You went up on the, oh no, you used the extension ladder.
No, I did not. I set just a utility ladder on there.
Oh.
A lightweight. But I couldn't bring myself to step on the higher rung. So look at the very top.
Oh, so we just need.
Look at the tippy top.
We need a few more lines
I
up there.
tried. I got up there for about 4 seconds and said, nope.
Oh,
I don't know, that extra 8 inches, just, I couldn't.
No,
couldn't bring
and
myself to do it.
I had a hard time reaching to that middle too, even up on the ladder on that scaffold. So
anyway, so we'll have to put the scaffold. I thought I could do it with the extension ladder, but Joe said she had to go home. Oh. And she wouldn't let me try. So
okay, all right.
We can take that down and put the scaffolding back up.
All right, well, at least we have like something.
Finish that.
Yay,
But,
that looks good.
That look good? Hold on, that's, each one is a piece of plywood.
Okay, so there's 2 8-foot pieces of plywood.
Full sheets of plywood. Okay. So they're heavy.
Oh yeah.
But here's my thought, is that I'm going to unscrew and move one over, reach out and come underneath with a Sharpie and mark the corner.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that then we can just measure and draw out and then put the other one back and slide,
so
and mark, because this one needs to come all the way to the center, so you don't have that gap. That's annoying.
Right, yeah, because you can see up into the area up there on that one.
But so the hard part will be marking it and getting them out.
The roof from this window. That's
okay, I left my tripod downstairs, so
okay.
I gotta. Well, before I go get it, let's inventory and see what else we're forgetting. So
we probably need a measuring tape.
I have a measuring tape, a light.
Sharpie. Does the Sharpie work?
Yes.
Okay.
That's always important. My drill, screwdriver, the extra bits, because I don't know what
is everything. Are they screwed in up here?
Yes.
Okay.
And then a broom. I thought we'd clean.
Yeah, we need to clean this
out
first.
Let's
clean this area up for sure. And
then I've got my harness, so
gosh, I feel I'm gonna have to do right here.
Well, the cupola is open.
Oh, it sure
it's all that venting.
That feels great. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's drop cloths on the second floor.
Okay.
But see, you're not going to be able to get in there with me when it's open because I only have one harness.
Yeah. No, that's fine. But you can pass me whatever.
But you'll be able to stand here.
Okay.
And reach and help. But I'm trying to remember how we even got it in there. I think we lifted it up and over this and then down and then back and then through. It's a very tight fit. But I think we can do it with the 2 of us.
Light amount of cleaning.
Look, another roof slate.
So what do these little lifty thingies do? Are they for putting the lay lights in and out? Or are they for venting?
The handles, those are the vents. I'll show you when we get the plywood out.
Okay. Obviously, we don't have these sort of contraptions, so.
I've talked about them in the cupola video, but the plywood's always been here, so I haven't been able to demonstrate them, so we'll be able to demo that.
And we will have a clean work area.
Cleaning.
Let me see it's pretty dirty up here. Oh my gosh. It's insulation. Look at that. Somebody left their water bottle. I don't know what all this stuff is. And then this is the backer paper, all that silver, weird silver backer paper is in here. Oh, okay. Let me get the rest of this. Yeah, this area is pretty, pretty dirty up here.
Do you want me to go get you a mask?
No, I'm to the end. I'm trying not to stir it up too much. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm being gentle with my brush stroke.
A little tight working conditions.
It's very tight working conditions. Okay, and then I probably will have one more after that, and that'll probably be it.
I was thinking at lunch we would go run down to Home Depot and buy one sample of like a really bright yellow paint. The thing about these lay lights, because they get no direct light on them at all.
We need a bright yellow.
Anything we do is going to look muddy and dirty, so we may deviate a little bit from the actual colors and brighten it up a notch.
Gosh, this looks so much nicer up here. It's amazing what a little sweeping can do.
All right, you're only as good as what you're hooked to, and this is holding up the entire staircase, so I'm assuming it's solid. Gotta be secured, and I think I can reach.
Okay, so
I put the screws in here. I'm the one that put the screws in here.
So do you want, so
surely
you're going
I
to undo
can-
the screws first?
I'm going to take the screws out first.
Okay, so I need to pass you.
And
oh, you
actually
got
what
the
I'm
drill.
going to do is take them out of this one, since it's in the wrong position anyway, and do the marking on this one, since this is the one that's in a good spot.
Okay.
And the question
Okay, because
is,
that's the one that's got the gap.
yeah, so we're going to have to reposition it anyway.
So this whole area.
New plan. All right, we're already on
New
plan.
plan. Okay, that's not going to work.
Well, not for. Okay.
I mean, you can walk around on that outer perimeter.
Yeah, I can. So I really need this for removing the plywood because I'll be leaning over.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to take it with me.
This is a good tour of what this place looks like. So you can walk all the way around. As you can see, there's like a little walk path all the way around where this lay light is.
Okay.
And there's
this is a star tip.
So you need a star
So
tip?
I need a star tip.
Did you bring that up
they're
here?
laying in the window in there.
Okay.
If you don't mind grabbing me one.
I will come back
Or just
here.
bringing me the little box. Thank you.
So it looks like there was some kind of a light right here at some point in time, I guess,
That
to
was
light,
to try to shine down
on
I think, and
the
light
lay
up
lights,
the lay
make
lights.
this end that's darker down here sort of be lit.
Okay. Alright, what do I do with my screw? It's dark in here.
It is dark.
I brought that light up. Okay.
Do you want me to go get that light?
No, I think we're good.
Is that loose? Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Hold on.
Ooh.
Oh no, I put mine in the corner over there. Alright, here we go. Alright.
I guess you're going to mark it.
No, I gotta move it first.
You're gonna move
Can't
it
mark
first.
it without getting it out of the way.
Okay.
So this will be the hard part.
Can it be...
I don't know.
Can it be moved to that end is the question. Oh gosh, Janie, be careful.
I see.
Did you look down on that end? Can it? Oh,
Hold
there's a center.
No, it's not. It's fine.
Okay.
All right, Sharpie.
Okay. Sharpie. I feel like I'm the nurse. Scalpel, please.
Scalpel, please. Okay, now. And I'm not on it. Got my rear
Yes.
here, so
On the
I'm
more
not
sturdy part. Yeah, that's
anyway,
our still
the goal
screwed in.
is to lean under.
I'm gonna come over here. Let's see what we're doing. Oh, and mark this one because this one is in a good place. Okay.
Okay, really. Oh my God, that's so.
You want me to go down there and see about pushing that end?
No, I wanna. I would like to get my head in there.
Okay, you want me to pull it this way some?
Just a little bit.
On this end?
Yeah, just pull. I'll push. That's good. Okay. All right.
Wow, that's good. Can your arm reach to the other corner there?
No, we can only do one.
Okay,
But because it's a right angle,
Okay.
then we
Then
can
we'll just-
measure from that. So now I want to put this back in the correct position where we want it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to set this down
Just
to
lay it
help
down.
you.
Okay, tell you what we can do is, here, come look at this. Give me your opinion. Okay. We're right on this mark. So that can be our edge. We
Yeah.
can mark
Just mark the edge of the plywood where it turns,
here.
and maybe down there you can reach.
And then to keep from having a light gap, we can just lay a
Oh yeah,
board
just a board right over
it. Because I think if we pull it too far this way, we're not going to be able to screw that.
Well, and this down here, okay, so there's no gap down here.
So we're good with no gap.
So there's no light gap down there.
My question is,
Yeah, so we just use the edge of the
okay,
board.
that is the edge. Okay, and I just threw the Sharpie into the bathroom.
Oh, okay, well, let me go get it again. It's a better, safer place because it could fall through the...
We don't want to go up and down.
We don't want to go down there. I can't believe I just did that. Just what I said. I don't think we're going to find it. It went way down. Oh my God, that was terrible. I have a Sharpie in my bag.
Okay.
Let me go get it. And it's a fresh, brand new one.
Maybe I better hold my phone. No, keep the phone over there.
Crap. Okay.
Okay.
All right, can you turn this thing off?
You can turn it off.
Yeah, 3 flights of stairs later, there's the
box.
Sharpie.
So you can't get good free help anymore.
I know, right?
Now we're going to get the plywood out.
Okay, where are we taking it to? Get this out of the way so we don't
just in
trip.
this room now.
To which room up here?
I think the east room has the best light, but I brought the shop light up here.
Okay. Just you'll have to point me to the right direction because there's so many rooms up here. I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, let me come in here.
No, you can't come in here.
Oh, I can't come in here yet?
because you're not harnessed. You can't come in here at
I
all.
thought you were just going to pass it to me. Okay.
No, it's the problem.
I don't know how you're going to manage that by yourself.
Once I lift it, there's a big hole.
Yes, I know.
So that is the problem. So you can't come in.
Okay.
And it's got a screw over there.
Oh, no.
Okay. Screwdriver, please.
Yes.
Oh, it is a star.
Oh, good. That's good. All right. Pass me that screw. I've got a place for it. Put it over here safe so we can
Put it out there.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you that.
All right.
Let's try again. I know the harness is necessary, but it really is
Well, I mean,
pain in the ass to work
I just
with.
was wondering if I could stand on this area here and just help you pull it out. But
I'm just worried because
I understand
once
what
there's a
you're saying.
hole,
Yeah,
and
'cause
it's, you know,
it's a huge hole,
it's a big hole.
and that's a long ways down.
I'm trying to recall. It's been a long time ago since we put this in here. I think there was room to come here and up, in which case I can pull it over and you can reach from there.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, and watch out for that. There's that thing right there at your shoulder height, that wood. It's going to block you.
Shelf.
And you're on a, oh, hold on. You're on a very, very tight
Straight
leash.
up. Straight up. Straight up. Okay, wait. Straight up. Okay, good.
Okay.
Now,
I helped
that's
from
the hard-
I helped from inside the bathroom.
all right.
Safety first.
Now, I think
Now what are we gonna do?
I think we went that way.
Yeah, because you've got the. Did you do it before you put the bar railing up, or did you do it after?
We did it after.
Okay.
We did it once. Let's move the camera.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back.
We don't need our fail on film.
We don't need our what?
Failure on film.
Well, you can always edit it off.
I think we got to go all the way down this way.
Okay. Let me just see if I can help guide. That's as far as you're going to be able to go in that
All I
harness,
can
I'm
do, but I
afraid.
can come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo!
All right.
And then I have to go back further.
Feed this sucker out of here is the question.
I had to feed it out here.
And then, how are we going to feed it in here and not mess up our artwork?
Well,
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
that bridge when we get there.
It's not going to have much room to go this way. We're running. we're
It
gonna
came
run out
in
of road.
here. It's going to get out.
Ha!
Hold on.
Toilet.
You may have to go.
I may have
up
to lift up above the toilet. Do I have room to lift up above the? Okay, I'm above toilet.
above the toilet.
All right, there it is. It's going to come out.
All right.
Now,
ta-da! Okay, we have to remember how we did that so we can reverse it.
so we have to come above the, yeah, all right, got it. Okay.
Okay, let me disrobe.
That's my mirror. Okay, so let's take this one where it belongs. Okay, oh my God, they're heavy.
So much for all that cool air. I'm sweating like a pig. Sorry if that was a little bit mind-numbing, kind of like watching paint dry, but it was a slow and tedious process, and we actually spent a lot of time talking about how to do this and how to get those corners marked so that our faux painting would line back up correctly with the grid. And it's a little bit more difficult than it looks. You think you could just paint it and then slide it around, but the plywood actually kind of jams in the corner and it doesn't have room for movement, so it only fits one way basically. So we needed to get the pattern exactly lined up so everything would be perpendicular and square to the grid work there. It would have driven Heather crazy had it not lined up straight.
There's a tarp right there, and we could pull the other one out, and that way we just do everything all at one time, and it's like a factory. So we do. To me, that's the easiest way to do it.
Okay, pardon us for breathing a little hard, but we just got the second one out, and with it gone, I can show you some things up here that you haven't been able to see before. So the lay lights lay in this metal frame, and that does not look like much of a lip for them to stay on. Let me put my finger next to it for scale. But there's actually a piece missing, and that's this extender that hooks on. And it's here on this edge, but we've removed them for safekeeping from the other lips. So there is actually about 1.5 inch lip formed all the way around. And I've shown you guys this several times, but I haven't been able to open them. And that is those little squares on that side you can see are closed in and decorative. But on most of the area, they're open holes. And so in the summer, they would open this hinged door, which the hinge is broken, and in the winter, close it. So in the summer, the hot air could escape, and in the winter, the hot air could stay inside. And I think it's interesting because these little handles match an addition in the butler's pantry, that cabinet that was added, I think, by Eliza. So at some point, either these did not have handles, and when they built that cabinet, they had extras and they came up here and put them on, or they had extras left over when they did this and used them in the butler's pantry. I don't know which way they went, but this will let a lot more light in today anyway until we get it closed up. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to move this plywood in and start drawing. Everything you've seen so far took us about 3 hours to do. With both of them out, Heather and I marked and laid out the pattern, working off just that corner that we marked on each one as a reference point. And then we headed off to get some lunch and stop at Home Depot to get a little sample of yellow paint to paint the skylights with. On the way back in, we decided to pause this project and return to our previous project and go ahead and finish up that last 8 inches of the big stained glass that I could not reach. So that involved putting the scaffolding back up and Heather climbing up because she's the fearless gymnast that she is. She has no problem at those heights, and she finished up that last little bit of work. We have had visitors coming and going, and I was not up here to film, but Heather and I had marked out some of the layout for the glass, and she came back up and started doing her decorative painting techniques. This is a glaze with some yellow. We ran to Home Depot and we debated about what to do with the color. It's more brown, the actual stained glass, but when it's up there and the light shines through, it looks very light and more yellow. And since this is solid plywood and won't have light coming through it, we've elected to go with what we think is the look of the windows with bright sunlight coming through them. So this is just a base coat. She'll come back and do some stippling. And we still have to lay this one out. But she's gone downstairs to glaze the window. I don't care. It's 4:14. Do you want to?
I think in 15 minutes I can get the blue onto those squares. I don't think it's going to take very much time at all.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'll draw out the other one.
And then we'll clean her up.
Okay.
Clean everything up.
All right. Well, I'll start drawing. Just like the big windows, Heather started with a base coat of a primer, and in this case, we have a weird clear primer left over from one of my rent houses. To make the surface more uniform to paint on, Heather added a layer of that pearlized white Sherwin-Williams paint. It's a pretty oyster white shimmery color. She just put it over the entire piece of plywood to even out some of the discolorations and marks on the plywood. On top of that, she added the yellow with some glaze and some brown to give it a mottled look and tone down that yellow just a little bit. And by closely examining the photos of the original window, we could see that that center was actually a pale blue, although it really doesn't show up when you see the skylights in place. But we like the tie-in to the blue in the larger window. I think it's interesting that the colors in these laylights have nothing to do with and don't seem to match or coordinate in any way with the big stained glass windows. They're very different in style and color, even though they're in such close proximity. Anyway, I finished drawing and laying out that second sheet of plywood, and then I took over painting with the blue paint so Heather could move on and do the big yellow areas. Sometimes you get so engrossed in a project you just can't let it go. We had a day like this with the first stained glass project we did where we just were so excited we kept working and working and working. And in this case, our 15 minutes turned into about another hour and a half. It was just a fun project and we're very chatty, so we just painted and painted and painted and decided, why not? We'll paint and let the traffic die down. If you leave the island between 4:30 and 5:30, it's quite a mess getting back to Houston. So our time was more productive to just stay here and do this. Another reason to keep on painting is consistency between the two panels. These are going to sit right next to each other, and we don't want a lot of variation in how they look. If we were painting with just one color straight out of a can, that would be one thing. But this type of painting involves thinning the paint with a glaze, blending multiple colors together. There's a lot of texturing in the brushwork, and it's often easy to kind of forget what you've done and not be able to match exactly if you come back and do it later. So getting everything down on this base coat was a little bit important. I struggled with that on the big window because I painted those flowers, as you remember, at the bottom and then went back later to do them at the top, and they don't look the same. It's hard to notice, but some people might be able to notice it, so it's just better to do it all at once. We planned on coming back and finishing these the next week, but of course, a few days later, I broke my ankle. Then it ran into Thanksgiving and then Dickens on the Strand, and there was just a lot going on. Dickens was great, by the way. I'll fill you in on that another time. But in the end, this project got delayed for several weeks until I could get back up these stairs. Spoiler alert, we did just get them finished, but this video is already long, so I'll save that for next time. We had a very enthusiastic response to our first faux painting attempt on our big windows downstairs, and there were a lot of great questions. We love questions and suggestions and respond to every comment personally, but I thought I'd try something a little different today, and that's answering some of those questions here in the video so that everyone can benefit from the answer. So after my normal sign off, I've got another little clip at the end answering one of those questions for those of you who are interested. So as always, thanks for watching. This is the League-Kempner House in Galveston, Texas. We're a nonprofit working hard to save this incredible house. You can check out our website to make a donation, or you can shop in our shop. It's not too late to get a Christmas ornament. There's just a few left. Or you can sign up to find out about special events or volunteer. So that's it for today, and here's the answer to that question that we received. I got a great question from one of our viewers, and I thought I would take the time to answer it here for everyone because it was such a good question. And what I found is if one person has a question, a lot of people may be thinking the same thing. But the question was, why didn't we just get plexiglass to replace the plywood in the window and use special paint to make faux stained glass? So you'd have the real stained glass effect of the light coming through the plexiglass. Well, down there, the first reason is cost. The plywood was already in place. We would have to buy the plexiglass, which would require spending money on something that's temporary. And that size plexiglass can be actually quite expensive. Then we would have to bring in the heavy duty scaffolding and bring Ricardo back in for at least a day to remove that plywood. We'd have to build a new frame to support the plexiglass because it is very flexible and there's risk of wind sucking it out in a storm. So it would probably cost us $2,000-$3,000 when all was said and done to get plexiglass in there and do that. And we just don't have that kind of money to spend on something. So the plywood was there. Everything was free. We didn't buy any paint. We didn't spend a dime doing that. It was just all stuff we had. Now up here, you could ask the same question. Why can't we just put plexiglass here? We wouldn't have the cost of building the frame and all the expense of hiring Ricardo. We'd just have a more nominal expense for the glass. But we still have a huge, huge safety issue up here. That plexiglass is flexible and it wouldn't be strong. And if somebody got in here and stepped on it, they would fall through and that would be catastrophic. And we still have a lot of work to do in this area. Behind this wall is where we had that attic mess that I just showed you. We did not finish that project. We did a lot of it, but we just nailed it in place with galvanized framing nails. We need to go back and use either some lag screws or some carriage bolts and really bolt that thing together. We need to add some joist hangers. We need to put in some hurricane strapping. There's a lot of work to do in there to finish up. We haven't done it yet because it's so hot in the summer and it's upwards of 120 degrees or more in this attic space. So it's something that could wait. We waited for cooler weather. Cooler weather is here. It's actually a very pleasant day. It's only 60. So sometime in the next month or two, we'll get back in there and finish that area. The other reason we want to finish the work we were doing with the joist and all the rafters and everything is that we are about to start bringing our plumbing up, and all that plumbing for this bathroom runs through that area and down, and the vent stack comes up and through the roof. So there will be a lot of people going in and out of this area to get in there. And there is a railing up, but it's just not a good idea to have an open hole when you have so many people coming and going and carrying tools and work that needs to be done. We also need to do some work, we think, on the cupola itself. I don't know if all of you saw the video on the cupola. I think it's in the second season. If I remember, I'll try to put a banner on the video if you want to go back and check it out. But the termites made it all the way up. Remember, they were at the top of that stained glass area and that great big ball that we removed, a termite nest, and they came up through these roof rafters and they made it all the way to the top of the roof. So we really need to get in here. We've been treating and watching. We think they're all dead, but we want to watch it a little more. And then we might need to do some shoring up of this structure. I think we caught them in time, but there could be some work that needs to be done. So again, we need something a little more sturdy than plexiglass covering these openings until we get all of that work done. So again, this is a free project. It's just mine and Heather's time. We need to clean this up anyway. So that's what we're going to do. Let me back up. One more safety issue. We have a problem with some, not all, a very minute percentage of people who just can't follow rules. And you have all dealt with people like that. But we have a big barricade up that says do not enter coming up to the third floor because there are safety issues up here. There's no door here. Somebody could come up here, decide they want to go take a peek around the corner and walk in there. And if we're not with them, escorting them, we would know if they're doing that. We need to do some work on our door. It didn't fit right. It wouldn't shut. We need to get that back up and get a lock on it before we let anybody come wander on the third floor unescorted. So that is a huge, huge safety issue. There's also some floor missing, which there's floor missing in Uncle Lee's bedroom on the second floor, but it's right in front of a big bright window. We have a barricade up and people can see it. Here, it's tucked around the corner in a dark space, and somebody could go over there and not pay attention to what they're doing and step through that. So that wouldn't be good. So this floor is just not ready yet for people to come wander through. So we're working on that. We would love for people to be able to tour the third floor as well as the first and second floor, but we've got to address those safety issues first. So fixing the door is another one of those no cost things that we can do while we're waiting to raise more money. So we'll start working on that, cleaning up the space and making it available to people that come tour, because tours are one of the primary ways that we fund and support this house.